Welcome back to another video. Today I'm gonna be giving my review on the structured interview. I completely forgot about this step because I was occupied on getting all the other reviews and the steps in the hiring process set. So today I'm gonna just go over everything that I have experienced and advice that I can give back as well. So actually this is interesting because for the structured interview, I actually took that about a couple years ago. I know, it's crazy. And that's how long my application's been going on, right? But long story short, like as I was completing the medical, I had to do like additional reviews. But what they did was back in I think it was May of 2021, about a month out, they sent me an email telling me to go in for a structured and security interview, which was going to be conducted on July 23rd. So actually it was 2 months. So because I got the email in May and then in July I got the full details. So I was like, okay, well then that's good because that gives me 2 months to prepare. So obviously, I utilized my resources. What I did was I researched practice questions, and of course I watched other people's content on what their experience was and whatnot, and I found that helpful. But what I really found helpful was actually practicing like interview questions and just getting myself acclimated to how I'm going to answer it and just being very composed, right? Because it's normal to kind of have a little bit of nerves and butterflies in the stomach. Everyone gets that way, right? But I know that I will be okay as long as I prepare and I feel confident in myself. So that's the attitude I had. So I was reviewing like for 2 months, ever since I got that email to all the way until the following. Until the night before I went in to do the structured interview. I was reviewing with family members, with friends, whatever I had to do to get myself comfortable and confident. And then of course, get a good night's rest, and that's what I had to do too. So the next day I woke up, I got a good amount of rest. And I just had my morning routine before, and then I took off, and my interview was at 7 o'clock in the morning. So and it went on for a little bit, like not the interview itself, but I was actually at the Border Patrol headquarters, so which was kind of cool. And there were like other applicants too, so we also got to speak with a couple of agents that were there as well, and they were kind of just, what they were doing was they kind of brought us all into a group, and they were just going to be telling us how the whole day was going to play out and what we should expect and what we need to understand and things like that, just basic guidelines and things like that. When we got to the front too, we kind of had to give our cell phones to the front and put all of our personal belongings in the front. So like that's the way they were handling things, which was kind of cool, and understandable too. So pretty much after they did the whole review and everything, we watched a couple of videos, and then after the videos, like he answered some questions, and then from there he took us outside because the headquarters themselves, they have like a little outdoor seating section. So there's a parking lot, there's like a set of tables, and there's a big tent. So we were all kind of just chilling there, and one by one there was a Border Patrol agent that would come out and call us by our name and last name. And there was like, when I was there was like about 6 or 7 of us in the group, and I was actually the very last person to be called. So I was like, okay, well, hey, I guess it's best for last, right? So Because I noticed too is like after a while, like I noticed the applicants before me, they would go in, they were in there for a good amount of time, and then they would come out, and then finally, like one of the border patrol agents came out and called me by my first and last name. I went inside, I followed him, and then from there, I had my interview. I will not disclose any questions or anything because I kind of did sign a non-disclosure agreement. So I apologize. I cannot share any details or nothing like that. I made a promise. So, but what I can say is, it's just pretty much, it's situational questions. The way I'll put it to you is, it's how you would react and what you would do, and essentially why, So, and they ask you like a series of questions, and so pretty much it was just I will say is it was not as bad as I thought. Like I thought it was gonna be like way harder, much worse, and that's what I was anticipating, right? Because I was literally preparing for the worst. Like as I was doing my review for the past 2 months, I spent time going over what are some of the hardest questions that they could ask me that I know I'll be prepared. When I go in, I'm confident I can crush it. And so pretty much that's the mentality I had. And, so they asked me the questions, I answered them. And then after that, they said, okay, well, we're going to review for a little bit. So if you can go ahead, step outside real fast, and then we'll call you back in. So I was like, sure, no problem. So I waited for a couple minutes, and you kind of have the thoughts in your head like, man, wondering if I did well, or, I am confident in myself, but at the same time, it's like, I can't get too excited right now. So I walked in, and then the first thing they asked me was, what made you want to join the Border Patrol? And then, I gave my honest answer, and I was just, I was very genuine about it too, other than the fact that I want to serve my country, but it's just, I like to be part of an amazing team of people who are motivated, disciplined, willing to show up to work every day, and the Border Patrol seems like a solid team, and I want to be a part of that team, and just very honest, very genuine, and they all nodded their heads, and they're like, yep, that's exactly what we're about. And so then they told me, well, we just want to congratulate you. You passed your structured interview. So I was like, awesome. And I held my composure, but at the same time, like, I was very happy. I was really excited because my hard work paid off, my preparation paid off, and I was confident. I walked in there feeling confident. And, I was doing backflips in my head. I was just doing somersaults, and I was so happy. But I was just like, awesome. That pleases me to hear that, because, you're in a professional environment. I had my suit on and everything. I got 3 Border Patrol agents interviewing me. So, and that's the thing too, is when you go in, more than likely you're going to be interviewed by a panel of agents. So they're gonna ask you questions, and there are real Border Patrol agents that are asking you these questions. So, but I was really excited, and then, of course, like they gave me the opportunity to ask them some questions. So I asked them a few questions, and then, they were able to give me honest answers, and all 3 of them were able to answer the questions I asked. So then after that, I went outside. A Border Patrol agent came in. I followed him to another room. It was pretty much around the corner from where the interview room was, and pretty much the interview room was a large room. It was like a big boardroom, but they cleared it up for the interview. And so when I went into the room around the corner, that is where my security interview was conducted. And it was conducted by another Border Patrol agent, not one of the agents that interviewed me, but it was another agent. And it was pretty much just clearance stuff and whatnot. So, but for the most part, it wasn't like really anything insane. It wasn't hard. It was just more like verification and whatnot. So that wasn't a problem to handle either. After that, that was pretty much the rest of the day. I was there for a good while. I mean, I got there before 7 a.m., waited for about 10 minutes, and then 5 minutes later I walked up, and by the time I got to the front door, it was 6:55. I was ready to go. But you know, I walked in feeling confident, and I walked out feeling even better. So I knew all the preparation and time I spent was well worth it. So the best advice I can give for a structured interview is to just do practice questions, and just focus on really taking into consideration of how you present yourself, right? You know, you want to be very composed, you want to be very calm, and the reason being is because a lot of people stump on questions, especially questions that they haven't been asked before or they weren't expecting. And that's where preparation with practice questions and just actually talking to people. Like when I was doing my practice and review before the interview itself, at one point I had 3 family members sitting in front of me, and I had 2 friends sitting in front of me. So I was actually, and what it does is it puts me in front of people. It forces me to talk, and it allows me to practice holding my composure and be calm. So that's something that helped me. I mean, obviously everyone has a different experience and different way of approaching and how they could, you know, improve and be prepared. But that's one of the ways that helped me, and I think it could help you guys out as well. And not to mention, just being confident. Just be confident in yourself, knowing that you came this far, you made it to this step, and all you can do is just believe that you can do great, and you will do great. You know, aside from all the practice and preparation, and just continuing to have a high sense of spirit, you'll be able to pass it with flying colors. The structured interview is not something that is going to be difficult. It's not going to be, you know, tough. Maybe like what it is for a lot of people is fear of the unknown. And that's how it was for me too. But what I've come to realize is my practice and my preparation allowed me to kind of just stay composed and stay calm and just see past it and just realize, okay, I'm just answering some questions and I know that I'm gonna kick some ass, and that's what happened. So, you know, you just have the high spirit, you know, it's kind of the same thing as law of attraction. You believe you're gonna do good, you're gonna do good. If you don't believe you're gonna do good, then you're probably not gonna do so good. So you probably should be optimistic, you know? And that's what you should do with any kind of job interview. You know, just that composure, the focus, the preparation, everything. You know, presentation, everything, how you present yourself. So, doing all those things, taking those things into consideration, that will go a long way. So, that's gonna wrap up the video for today, but I appreciate you guys tuning in. Feel free to comment below your experiences, what you guys felt and how your experience was when you did your interview, how you guys felt, and what did you do to prepare, right? So, and then of course, any questions, you can always comment below or reach out to me on Instagram, and I'll catch up with you guys later.